Hi everyone, I'm Dimitri. I'm an architect and instructor at Lab Ideas, and in this lesson, I'm going to share a really cool tip about vray for SketchUp. This tip is about randomizing. In other words, making the material appear random in our render, okay? So depending on our material, it can end up looking a bit repetitive, right? Which isn't very interesting or natural. So, for example, with this green marble, you'll notice there are spots that repeat, which ends up making it look more artificial, right? So we're going to set up this material so that it gets randomized, so it appears in different positions, making the image look more realistic. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open the asset editor. Let's go then to the first little ball, which is the materials ball, okay? I'm going to click on this tab to open the settings here on the right, all right? And then in the diffuse section, I'll have my material that's supplied there. Okay, so it's highlighted in blue because there's a texture inside there in my little box in my slot. So I'm going to click, and then we'll have the path where the material is located. It's extremely important that this path here is recognized, okay? In other words, there shouldn't be any exclamation marks here. That's why it's extremely important to have your materials organized, the ones used in your 3D model, all right? And here I have texture placement, so I'm going to maximize this option. I'm going to click on the first option here under Type and change it to Map, okay? And then it will minimize the options, and there will be just one little box down here. I'm going to click on it and on UVW. And then it will bring us to this new window. All right, so we're going to open up the randomization option here, okay? So I'm going to check this button here and then set the blend to 0, all right? Scrolling down a bit more, we have UV, right? The offsets. Okay, I'm going to put one in each of them, all right? And in this third option, which is UV rotation, right here in steps, I'm going to set it to 4, okay? That means it's going to rotate to all 4 sides, okay? And with that, I have my randomization, all right? I always use this configuration for any material there that's just one. Okay, just a single texture. So this is mostly for things like flooring, okay, and wall coverings, when you want to make it a bit more random in your 3D model, all right? Now I'm going to do another test render. So just to remind you, right, we had the same flooring on both sides, okay? Yeah, even down here, so it's repeating. And now I'm going to render it so it looks random. And now we can see a really nice randomization here in my marble texture. So it makes the material distribution look much more natural. Just a reminder, this feature will only show up in the render, okay? Here in SketchUp, my material will stay the same, all right? So always run tests at low quality to quickly check in vray until you find a randomization you like. And to try out different randomization options, just come to this little button right here, see? So just going back here, there's this seed, okay? And then you just need to adjust this seed bar to test different randomizations until you find the one you like best, all right? Just a reminder that we have our complete vray for SketchUp course, which you can find in the description. It's a really cool course, starting from scratch. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next classes. Thank you very much.